Hello, beautiful people. So I'm going to be showing you guys an everyday eye makeup tutorial. As you can see, my face is already done. We're just going to be focusing on the eyes today. So what we're going to take first, I have an Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. It's in the shade Eden. It's lightly pigmented and it actually goes on, sorry I had a face in the wrong way. It's actually really smooth. You just apply it with a small wand. You can rub it in just gently with your fingers. Make sure not to pull on the eye skin. And just blend until it's no longer clumpy. So what I'm using for my eyebrows, this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is their pencil, perfect brow pencil in the shade medium brown. And next what I'm showing you is what I use for the edges of my eyebrows. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade, also in the shade medium brown. I just generally use that to get some finer tips for my eyebrows to make them as sharp as possible and on fleek. And now we are on to the fun part. This is the Tartelette in Bloom by Tart. This is like literally the perfect everyday shadow. It smells like marshmallows to me. It's quite delicious. So we're basically going to take the shade Flower Child and we're going to be applying it to the base of our eye. What I mean by base is I mean starting from the inner corners of your eye until about halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way on your eyelid. What I'm using is just a nice, kind of rounded tip, thick eyeshadow brush. Just going to put it on the brush, make sure it's clean, and just like I said, apply to about halfway to 3/4. This is basically just going to help set the eyeshadow primer as well as just get your eyelids ready for other shades. It's just going to be a lot easier to blend when there's already something kind of underneath them. So yeah, just keep going, blend it in, yet again, don't make it look choppy. And the next shade we are taking is called Jet Setter. It is, kind of like a mauvey gray color. I'm just going to be applying this about from the midway point of my eyelid to the tail end of my crease. I'm just going to get it on the outer corners and lid of my eye. So I'll just kind of pack it in there, You don't want, just to fall off. You don't want splotchy looking eyeshadow, so just pack it in there. I'm using the exact same brush, I just dusted it off a little bit. I will go in and I will blend this a little bit later, but right now I just want to make sure that it's as thick as possible and the pigment really stands out. So what I'll be using to blend is the IT Cosmetics 107 blending brush. It is so incredibly smooth and it's probably one of the best eyeshadow brushes I've used personally. Now I'm not going to say like, oh, Morph's brushes, IT Cosmetics better than Morph. I don't know. This is just what I use. I used to work at Ulta and this is what was available to me. But as you can see, that's what it looks like. Nicely blended. The next shade we will be using is Rebel. It is this really cool, I kind of want to say like a rosy purple. All these shades have like a little bit of purple undertone to them. I like it. But basically you're going to be adding it to the outer corners of your eyes. Just kind of plop it in there. Actually, don't plop. Be gentle with it. But just go back in there afterwards. Yeah, I was watching Being Human. I get distracted easily by the dialogue. But yeah, just go in there. Pat it good. So I'm going to be skipping ahead real fast, but basically the brush I'm using is a Real Techniques brush. It has like a slanted for like more angled precision as well as like the curve that I was using earlier. But first we're going to go into the eyeliner. I'm using Perversion by Urban Decay. It's their 24/7 Glide On Stick. It's their matte black. It's not like the shiny stuff, and so it actually I think looks a lot better. But you're just basically going to be adding it to the top, kind of like the lash line. You just want to create more depth for your eye, make them look a little bit bigger. So you don't want to go above the lash line, you just want to be right on it. And we're on to the next shade. It's called Activist. It's one of the darker shades in the palette. It kind of looks like a milk chocolate chip. If that doesn't make you hungry, this palette sure did, especially with the smell. But we're going to be adding it along to our lash line. We're going to be blending upwards and outwards just to kind of make sure that the black isn't as harsh as when we first put it on. I have a tendency to kind of brush it out a little bit, almost like a wing, but it's just to lengthen my eye a little bit more as well as look like a natural lash line. Next, we're going in with another Real Techniques brush. It is even shorter, but just as round as the other brush. We're going to go over our lash line once again, just to blend out any extra harsh lines. We just want to make it, like I said earlier, as smooth a transition as possible. Wow, this mascara is better than sex. I'm not saying that actually is, but that's just the name of the mascara. It's by Too Faced, and I personally think the best one that works well for me. It gives me a natural fanned out lash look, and as you're going to see here in a second, there I went. I went on the top part of my lashes. It's basically just to make them a little bit darker as well as thicker. I don't recommend this for some people because they can get carried away with it, but this brush kind of gives you like the natural lash look. It doesn't make them look like little bitty caterpillars on your eyelashes. Just whatever mascara works for you best. This kind of step is optional. This is just the product I'm using. Please just ignore all my weird faces as I put on mascara. Everyone knows it's normal.